In this video, I want to compare the different knives in the Wusthof line, specifically the entry-level Gourmet, the standard Wusthof Classic, and their flagship Wusthof Ikon. And they do have a handful of similarities and also a handful of differences. All three are full tang. All three are German design knives. They have a very German blade, a very German handle. And all three also come with a lifetime warranty. The differences really come when you first start looking at them. The Wusthof Ikon and the Wusthof Classic are almost 100% the exact same knife. They use the same metal, they use the same manufacturing process, forging, handmade. They have the same angle ground onto it, which is the PE Tech 14-degree cutting angle. Really, the only difference these two knives have are two things. Number one is the bolsters, and number two are the handles. The bolster of the Ikon is a half bolster, which means from the tip all the way down you have a fully sharp cutting edge with nothing getting in the way, while the handle of the Wusthof Classic has a traditional full bolster, which means this portion right here is dull, and it does have a tendency to get in the way while you're cutting and sort of smash into things, which is not fun at all. The Gourmet is a completely separate knife from the two. It is stamped, it is machine made, it is not forged and handmade. It does use 58 hardness metal, but since it is stamped, it does end up losing a lot of its resiliency. Since it is stamped too, it doesn't have a very thick bolster here, which makes the blade extremely floppy. The fit and finish on this knife is nowhere near these two. The sharpened edge, when you look at it, looks very, very rough. It doesn't have a smooth, polished edge like those two do. And the actual cutting edge on this, unlike those which are 14 degrees, is an extremely dull 18.5 degrees by comparison. And to put that in real perspective, both of these knives you can use to shave, and if you try to shave your arm, it'll clean all the hair off in one pass. But with the Gourmet, no matter how many times you're rubbing against your arm, it's not going to be cutting any of your hairs. That's how big of a difference it is. Now, like I said, all three have full tangs. The difference is in the handles. The handle of the Wusthof feels very cheap. It feels like a dollar store handle, and it doesn't give you that much confidence when you hold it. It also feels extremely light, and not in a good way like when you say light with Japanese knives. It just feels cheap light. As you can see, it just doesn't give you that much confidence. The Wusthof Classic has a very nice weight to it. The handle is pretty darn ergonomic, and I actually like this knife a lot. It's a solid German knife if you like having a very German knife. Finally, you have the Ikon, and the biggest design element of the Ikon that is different besides the half bolster is the handle. They've spent a lot of time and energy and money trying to design the most ergonomic handle they could. They spent a lot of time and energy and money trying to design the most ergonomic handle they could, and I really think they succeeded. They've done that in two ways. Number one, it has a very unique shape so that any way you hold it, whether it's a regular grip, an index grip, a pinch grip, etc., it fits into your hand flawlessly. The second thing is a little bit more subtle. It has a very thick tang and this huge mass of metal at the bottom, so that when you hold it, all that extra weight sort of falls into your hand, and it makes it feel like a total extension of your arm. It really is a joy to work with. At the end of the day, they are three very different knives for three different purposes. It really comes between choosing whether you want the Gourmet or not, which I would highly suggest against. I would suggest getting a Victorinox if you want to save money, or if you're going to spend a little bit more money or the same amount of money, getting a Shunsora. This is a terrible knife, don't get it. Or choosing between these two blades, and it really comes down to whether or not you think the extra ergonomics are worth it. I'll put a link down to all three below. If you have any questions, any comments, or any concerns, let me know. And otherwise, I will talk to you very, very soon.